So I was thinking about making a video on like how to find your purpose and everything like that, but I wasn't really sure what to say because I wanted to give you like better advice than I'd given you before because I felt like my advice before, was all right, but I felt like there was something missing from it. I was missing a big part of it. And I was thinking about it for a while, and for some reason something came blaring at me that I'd never thought of before that just seemed so simple, especially with how I've talked a lot about how this modern world is like, they're messed up and everything, right? And it seems so simple as to why people weren't finding their purpose anymore. And I'm not sure why I didn't think of it before. And, you know, what I realized was, as men, we're never really going to be happy unless we have our purpose and know that we are doing everything in our power to get our purpose, to make our purpose a reality. And, we can have the wife, we can have kids, we can be happy with them, but we're never going to really feel true happiness and true satisfaction inside if we don't have that purpose that we need. Because it would be like if you didn't know what your purpose was, it'd be like this gnawing hunger in you if you were a real man. It'd be like this gnawing hunger in you. It'd be like you'd be constantly thinking about you're not doing enough and everything like this. And we need to find our purpose to be able to relax, to feel satisfied with our life when we know that we're doing everything we can to try and serve this world. And what really stinks is in this modern world, like maybe 1 or 2% of guys have really found that purpose. Those high value men who found that purpose. And I mean, even some of the rich people haven't, because there are tons of rich people who simply made businesses out of their own greed, out of their own desires for wealth, and threw away their true purpose for their money. And now they're feeling the effects. They're depressed. They don't want to do life. And, if you found your purpose, you don't have to be like the big money guys like Andrew Tate, Justin Waller, Brandon Carter, people like that. You can be a guy who lives in a family house with his family, but if your purpose is, I don't know, construction or painting, maybe. And the thing is, like, we can have all this money, but if we don't have our purpose, we can't be happy. Because I heard, well, actually, this is a discussion we had in our English class, and I think it's actually a really good point that I made, which was the question was, can money buy happiness? We were debating it. And the point I made was that money can buy things that make you happy, but it can't buy true core happiness because that comes from the actions that you do, the way you serve the world, and the way you feel, and the way all the work you've put in to serve other people. Because they're the richest people out there who aren't really happy because they know they aren't really good. They're not really great people, and they threw away their purpose for their money. And and there's also poor people who are completely content because they know they're going to get their purpose one day. So first, let's start out by saying your purpose is never going to be money. So don't even think about it. But back to how to find your purpose. The best way to find your purpose is simply to try things. I know, not the revolutionary idea, not the sexy idea you wanted when you came and clicked on this video trying to find your purpose, the 5 quick tips to find your purpose right now. No, that's not how purpose works. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes pain to find your purpose. And we're never going to find our purpose if we don't try things, try new things. So many guys nowadays are so scared of trying new things. You know, they're afraid they'll get embarrassed. They're afraid that their friends will laugh at them because they're not good at something. Well, what if, like me, take me for example, because I fell victim to this too. I want to be a wrestler. You know, I've talked to you guys about this for a while, but I didn't want to quit swimming because I was good at swimming. And even though I didn't really like swimming, I was good at it and I didn't quit because it was what I was good at, what I was comfortable with. And I wanted to stay in comfort. I'll just admit that right now. So, you know, things like this do happen, but so many young men are so afraid to try. And without trying, you'll never know what your real purpose is because you could be the greatest football player of all time, but if you don't like playing football, you're never going to like playing football. You know, you're always going to want to do something else with your life because football wasn't your purpose. Maybe your purpose was to be an engineer or a coder or something like that. But that's also not to say that every part of your purpose will be right because there are always going to be things that you're never going to want to do. You can want to be an engineer, but maybe you hate debugging code, but you have to debug code to build things and make them move like robots. So, you know, that's what you got to do. And maybe you're a wrestler, but you hate getting dressed in that tight ring gear, but that's what you have to wear if you want to be a wrestler. So, you know, there might be things you don't like. So don't immediately throw something away if you don't like it, but focus on the big picture, the big thing, and find if it genuinely gives you satisfaction to see it. Like if you're an engineer, it genuinely gives you satisfaction to see your robot walk across the room, or if you're a wrestler, it generally gives you satisfaction to see the crowd cheer for you, like, oh my gosh, when they see you. And if that big thing gives you that satisfaction, you know you found your purpose. But nowadays, in this social media culture, all these kids are so afraid to talk. You know, they're so introverted and they want to, you know, they kind of want to just huddle up and they just want to go inside themselves. And they're so afraid to try new things. And if that's you, that's you. But we're going to need to fix that. You can't stay like that because otherwise you're just never going to be happy in life, you know? You wonder why these extroverted people are always like the happy, outgoing kind of people. That's because they are happy. They're not afraid to do things. They're not afraid to get embarrassed. They're not afraid to make social connections. And those are all the things that humans need. You know, they need social connections. They need a purpose. They need something that you can only find by trying things, you know? And I know this advice sounds so simple. And I know probably 99% of all the normals have clicked off before, but that's good. That just means it's you, the one who actually has potential, and me, the one who's going to tell you how to reach that potential. And if you really aren't scared to try new things, this is going to be great for you. So, one thing I'm going to tell you is almost kind of study what you like to watch because that generally like helps you see it. But study what you like to watch, you know, like what your favorite TV show is, everything like that, and study why do you want to watch that? You know, for me, it was simple. I always watch wrestling. It was something like I knew it as soon as I through my brother for the first time that something was right about this. And so for me, it was simple, but for you, it might not be. Maybe you really like to watch, I don't know, Pawn Stars, or maybe you really like to watch robots being made, or football, or something like that. And just, you know, try that thing out, you know, see how you like it. And if you don't like it after a couple months, it's not your thing, move on. Go find something else. Maybe you really like playing baseball when you were younger. Go try that. Maybe you really like drawing. Go try sketching. Anything that you like to do that's a hobby, go try and see if you can do it seriously. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. You can move on after a couple months. But if you do, maybe you found something there. And that one thing, it might take you years to find, but when you find it, you will find that your life will have so much more meaning now. And that's not to say that you won't feel bad, but the thing is, even when you're looking for your purpose, your life has so much more meaning because you understand that you have a purpose in this life, that there's something you need, and you are actively looking for it, which is your purpose right now. Your purpose right now might be just to look for your purpose. And purposes can change. So go look for your purpose. It might be hard, it might take you a while, but the only way to ever get started is taking that first step and diving straight into the pool and figuring out what's at the bottom. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to know, oh, maybe I could have been a baseball player. Maybe I could have. You're never going to know what you truly love unless you dive head first, indulge yourself in it, and come out thinking, maybe, maybe not. So I hope this video helps you a little bit try and find something that you think you're in love with and that you think you can do for the rest of your life. All right. Do the hard work. Stay tuned. Don't feel like it. See you guys next time. Bye bye.